Welcome to today's video. My name is Lindsay, and here at blooming Wildwood Homestead, it is snowy and cold outside. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for us to take a look at 5 tips for purchasing seeds. If you're anything like me, when you get your seed catalogs in the mail, it is so exciting. You start flipping through and finding all of the new vegetables that are being offered and the herbs and the flowers, and sometimes it can be really overwhelming to know which ones you want to purchase. So if you haven't already purchased your seeds, and if you're totally new and getting started, I want to give you 5 tips for deciding which seeds you want to purchase. The first thing we're going to look at today is knowing your growing zone. So to do this, we're going to hop on over to the computer, and I'm going to show you a website that you can go to so that you can look up which growing zone you're located in. Let's go. All right, number 1, we want to know our grow zone. So if you type into Google USDA grow zones, or if you type in USDA hardiness zone, it will get you to this website. Also, I will link it down below in the description bar. But once you're here, you'll see a map of the United States, which is really helpful in determining your grow zone. So on the side, it will tell you the color that corresponds to which zone. You can also type in your zip code if you want to find your specific zone. Also, you can look at your state, and it will show you the different grow zones within your state as well. So sometimes you can be within the same grow zone, but there might be an A and a B. So right now where I'm living, it's zone 8B, but the homestead that I'm moving to will be in grow zone 8A. So just a little bit cooler temperatures since it's up a little bit higher than where I am right now. The second thing that we want to look at is we want to think about your end goal. So know your end goal. What are you going to do with this produce? Are you going to be saving seeds? Are you hoping to be doing some canning? Are you just going to be doing fresh eating? So really know your goal and what your purpose is. To illustrate this, we're going to pop over here to Territorial Seed Company, which is where I purchase most of my seeds from. And we're going to go to the tomatoes section because I think this will really help to illustrate this point. So over here in the tomato section, there are tons of different varieties of tomatoes. You can see here so many different varieties. And if you don't have your end goal in mind, it's really going to be hard to know what it is that you want to purchase. So if I know I want fresh eaters, I might go ahead and look for some type of cherry tomato because that would be a great addition for a salad. If I know that I want to be doing a lot of preserving and maybe I'm going to be making some sauces or some type of salsa, something like that, I might look for more of a Roma style tomato or a sauce type of tomato because that's going to suit that need a lot better. So really just be mindful of what it is that you want to do. And then if you're hoping to save seed from what you're planting, you'll also want to purchase heirloom tomatoes rather than a hybrid. So your ultimate purpose is going to help you to know what it is that you need to buy. The third thing I want you to think about kind of goes along with number 2 is to know what type of seed you want to get. So does it matter to you if you purchase a hybrid seed versus an heirloom seed or the organic seed versus conventional? So these are some things that you want to take into consideration. If you're wanting to save seed, as I previously mentioned, you want to get an heirloom seed so that you'll be able to save from that plant. If it doesn't matter to you, then a hybrid version might be just fine and it's not going to really matter. A lot of the hybrids are crossed, plants that are crossed so that they produce different qualities that can be very beneficial and can make that plant great. So it really just depends on what you need. And then organic versus conventional, there's debate out there as far as if it's essential to buy organic or if it doesn't really matter. Some of the things that I've seen have said that because organic seed comes from organic farming practices, that particular seed has already been grown in the organic environment. So if you're hoping to do organic gardening, it might already be a stronger plant and a stronger growth for that organic type of gardening style. So, and then other places, they say it doesn't matter. So that's up to you. You can decide if you want organic versus conventional. If these tips are helpful, please remember to click that like button. Number 4, know the seed shelf life. We want to make sure that we're planting seeds that have the highest likelihood of germinating, and the seed shelf life is really going to help you with that. So different items have different shelf life. For example, onions are only going to be good for about a year, whereas your brassicas might be good for at least 3 years. And it just helps you to know what quantity of items to buy if you know their shelf life. Going back up here to the top, we are going to head to Territorial's growing guides, where you can find the shelf life of each type of plant. So in the spring section, we're going to scroll down here and go to the cauliflower, which is a type of brassica. And here you can see that we have 3-year seed shelf life. And again, that just means that you're going to have the highest germination rate during that 3 years. It might last a little bit longer than that, but your best time period is going to be the 3 years. Also, if you need more information on plant spacing and some information about how to get started with that, these growing guides really are helpful for that. The 5th tip is to limit the number of varieties that you purchase. So I am notorious for purchasing or wanting to purchase many different kinds, especially when I get the new catalog and it talks about new varieties that have come out, and I want to try them and to experience that. But the reality for me has been that I have a small garden here where I live in town, so I don't have the space to be able to try lots of different varieties, and I do have to really work hard to limit myself. The other issue that comes up is if you want to save seed from certain plants, then you want to make sure that you are not choosing too many varieties, especially if that particular plant may cross-pollinate. If you want to leave the seed true to that particular variety of plants, you do have to keep that in mind. And the other thing that you have to think about as well is that seed shelf life. So if it's only good for a year or 2 years and you buy quite a few different varieties, then you can run into problems where you're not using up all of your seed and a lot of it's going to waste. So particularly for me in the area of tomatoes, as we've already looked at, there are a lot of different varieties and a lot of different types of tomatoes that you could choose, but you're keeping that in mind. What am I going to do with this particular type of tomato? What am I going to do with this plant? That's going to help you to limit and not get too out of control with your number of varieties. I hope that you found today's video helpful and that these 5 tips for purchasing seeds will help you to be very intentional about purchasing your seeds for your garden. If you enjoyed today's content, please remember to subscribe and hit like down below, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye!